Hi everyone, it's me, Moonlight Guidance. We are going to have a look and see what is coming through for this Mercury retrograde. So I'm actually doing a reading completely based on the retrograde to see what is coming through, and we are going to have a look and see what messages I have for you. Alright, so this is going to be for all star signs. If you are here, hello and welcome. I feel like it is a sign that there are messages for you, and also if you ever wanted to purchase any personal services, they are always listed down below for your convenience. Shop moonlightguidance.com. There's intention rituals, there's intention items which have thousands of 5-star reviews which you can check out at the bottom of the website. There's also tarot readings with me as well if you are interested. There's also Mercury retrograde related items as well which you can find on the website. Alright, so everything is always there for your convenience, and I am going to begin. Okay, so let's have a look and see what is it that you most need to know in regards to this Mercury retrograde. Oh, speaking of Mercury, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. This is such a powerful energy here of Mercury showing up straight away. One thing that I do want to say is that this retrograde is very, very well known for bringing people of the past back around. And so I want you to know that. I really want you to know that someone here from the past in your life is going to be thinking very heavily about you. This person is going to be very in their head and in their mind about things. I feel like you've tried to move forward. I don't feel like you're trying to stay stuck in your situation, but oftentimes the thought of this person does sometimes make you feel stuck. But then when you don't think about this person and when they're not really in your mind, you're able to move forward quite nicely, and you're sort of able to feel uplifted and happy about life. But then the minute sort of you feel this person's energy, you start to get stuck again and sad based on how they've treated you. So I feel like there is someone from your past who is going to think about you a lot during this time. It's sort of this blast from the past energy, and you may, okay, from time to time still feel their energy. You may still feel like you randomly think about them. It's very common during a Mercury retrograde to feel the energy, okay, of someone from your past, and it just sort of warps your mind and just makes you go a little bit like you feel like you're going insane. And that's something that I am seeing here, okay, especially if you are a Virgo or a Gemini. You may find yourself overthinking a lot in regards to things that have happened in the past in general with certain people, relationships, friendships and things like that. I definitely see here with the 9 of Swords as well that this retrograde will bring up thoughts of the past. So if you find yourself dreaming at night about past situations, or perhaps even being in school, for example, whenever you were in school, or if you are currently in school, you may have dreams about that whole aspect of things with school and things like that. So that's really what I see here. Also with the 8 of Swords, we have a very distinct energy which is to do with thoughts of the past. Speaking of the past as well, I really feel like this is a time to be very flexible. It's a time to just sort of be very flowing as well, just how water flows. When water comes across an obstacle, it will go around it, over it, or it will just sort of pool up in one place. It's just really about going with the flow and not being so hard on yourself. This Mercury retrograde is one that can be quite emotionally sort of overwhelming, in the sense that it brings thoughts from the past. However, how you deal with it makes the biggest difference. So if you just sort of flow with those thoughts and think to yourself, you know what, it's okay, like how a leaf, looking at this tree, how a leaf just sort of falls down, very gracefully. It just is this energy here of being flexible and slowing down and resting, and it's a time of rejuvenation for yourself. So this Mercury retrograde is calling for you to change your perspective on things and to realize that everything sort of does happen for a reason. But not only that, it's important to sort of be flexible in that sense as well, especially when things don't go your way. It doesn't mean that the universe is completely against you. It doesn't mean that the universe hates you. It just means that the universe is trying to get you to glow up, grow up, become stronger, and to also be flexible to changes, because life is about duality. Okay, so that's one thing that I'm really seeing here, is that this energy from the past can sort of make you feel quite frustrated, like, why am I thinking about that? Why is that in my head? This person's probably living their life, so why is it in my head? But what it is calling for you to be is flexible, to enjoy your life despite triggers, and to heal those triggers, and you will start to feel more confident. So this retrograde is going to make you feel more confident. You're going to have enough enough. You're going to say to yourself, enough is enough. I don't want to think about the past. I don't want to keep inviting myself into that. I don't want to feel these triggers constantly. And you will say to yourself, enough is enough. I am going to take care of myself. I'm going to nourish my body. I see many of you here also doing things like healthy eating, fasting, exercising, going for a walk, and also spiritually, meditating, nourishing your soul, perhaps even doing things like Reiki. And so I do see a lot of spiritual practice. I see a lot of self-nourishment. You're taking yourself from this Eight of Swords, which you start to feel specifically, at the beginning and the middle of the retrograde, to then suddenly towards the end of the retrograde, you are like a new person. You will feel so uplifted, strong, independent, confident, happy, motivated, and you will feel like you've had a breakthrough after some, really sort of stalling energies, which I am seeing. For some of you, this person can also appear in your life during the retrograde, which means that they can show themselves. Okay, like they can literally contact you, communicate with you during the retrograde, because they can feel that your energy is starting to shift and your energy is starting to change, and that you are becoming stronger and brighter and lighter. And I think that's so, so beautiful. So keep going for yourself, okay? Because I really do see that there's a beautiful energy here that points towards that. Yeah, see, 10 of Cups here. Someone is starting to desire romance with you. And this is starting to happen as your energy is growing and glowing tremendously, okay? You're going through a glow up. This Mercury retrograde for you is a glow up. It is a glow up from past situations that have hurt you to you suddenly realizing, wait a second, I am the prize here. I am the diamond. So say to yourself, comment down below, this is the affirmation for the reading, I am the prize, I am the diamond. Okay, so that's really what I am seeing so far. Let's keep going. I feel like I have a lot to tell you. Okay, so Temperance here is also about work. This is a very important one, okay? If you have a really long application to fill out online, or you have to do, online you can have lots of options, and you're trying to, like, let's say you're putting things in your basket and you're trying to check out a lot of things, but you spend forever doing it, and then your cart is suddenly clear, or you're working on a presentation but you don't press the save button for a long time, and then suddenly you lose the whole presentation. What I'm trying to say here is just make sure you save things. Make sure you save things, okay? So if, for example, you want to add loads of things to your cart, just make sure you save those links, because if your cart empties itself, then you have to go through the entire process again of sort of adding everything to your cart. So what I'm trying to say here is make sure you save things, make sure you make a list. Mercury retrogrades are very, very well known for creating communication issues, but not just communication issues, technology issues. Okay, so just make sure you save things. You save presentations, you save notes, you take screenshots of your orders, things like that, because things can go missing. Not specifically like items, let's say. I mean, for some of you, yes, but emails could go missing. You might accidentally delete emails that you need. Just being a little bit more aware of that can definitely help you during the retrograde, where you just take an extra screenshot of something, you take a picture of something. That can really help you, okay? I think that this is advice that's going to help you a lot during the retrograde. Just make sure you click save, okay? And also you take pictures of like things that you feel like you need to remember. Okay, what else do we have? This is definitely a time to be patient with yourself, trust me, okay? 8 of Wands here shows as well that if you're trying to travel, just make sure you check before you travel, whether you check radio, news. It's just a sense here of just making sure that you check requirements before you do travel, because some of you might find that you don't have the right documentation and things like that, or there might be delays, and you could have saved yourself a lot of hassle if you had just looked online to see that there is a delay. So there can be travel delays, especially if you are traveling during this time. The other thing here as well is that I really do feel like someone is going to surface here romantically. Okay, there's someone here that's going to romantically want to speak to you. There's someone here that's going to want to romantically communicate with you. And what's really interesting about all of this is that there's a sense here of you feeling really kind of confused, because Nine of Cups is when you just feel so confident and happy within yourself, like we saw with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this person then wants to talk to you and wants to be present in your life. So I definitely feel here that the more you slow down, the more you rest, the more you create that rejuvenation within yourself, someone here wants to be a part of your life. They want to be in your life. They want to be there. Yes, they do. They want to be there. They want to be there and they want to talk to you. So definitely during this retrograde, I do feel like someone here wants to communicate with you and they want to talk to you and they want your attention. Okay, so that's what we have. And then we've also got the Fool here, which again is sort of this traveling energy. This is important for me to mention because during this time, I would personally avoid making major plans. Okay, the kinds of plans that include things like wedding dates, the things that you know, when to go on a honeymoon, for example. There are certain plans you can't avoid. I think that's really important to mention, but there are ways that you can sort of work around it, right? But major plans in terms of like long-term plans, things like, you know, I wouldn't say don't buy a house during this time. I wouldn't say that, because for some people they could have started the process, you know, a long time ago, and it sort of goes through during this time. That's not a problem. It's sort of like major plans, like planning a wedding, planning a big project, you know, that really has emphasis for years to come. Yes, if you are looking to purchase a home, it's not necessarily the best time to look. However, by the time you actually purchase the home, it could be not Mercury retrograde. So that's what I'm trying to say here, is that it's just about avoid making major plans. Okay, plans, not necessarily like big purchases, but plans is what I'm seeing. I just want to make that really clear, because those plans can go a little bit haywire. If somebody invites you out, for example, I definitely feel here that there can be miscommunications and issues, and then you can think to yourself, I wish I didn't go out during this time with this person, because there can be you know, arguments or just miscommunications and problems that happen. So it's best not to during this time. However, if you do, it's important to be flexible, be diplomatic. It's one of those things, it does take a bit of that, okay? Yeah, it's a time of really, time of reviewing, revising and focusing, because the Queen of Swords here shows as well, the more focused you are during this time on your energy, the things that you've got going on for yourself, the more things start to progress. Literally got the Magician here. Look at that. It's Mercury. It's Mercury in its pure form. So definitely feel like this is the time to really assess your hopes and dreams for the future. It's a time of reflection. It's a time for being sort of in your own energy, nurturing yourself, looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, slowing down, resting. Of course, keep working, you know. I want to mention that as well. Don't stop going to work. But it's a time for inwards, and it's a time of reflection. This Mercury retrograde that's happening in the sign of Virgo is internal, okay? It literally is internal. It's connected to the stomach. So some of you may have, you know, sort of like stomach problems. You may feel that you have anxiety. You may feel, you know, so that's why, again, slowing down, resting, meditation, very important during this time. The Virgo energy as well, especially when it comes to a Mercury retrograde, is quite powerful, because Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. Okay, so you may find yourself overthinking a lot. You may find yourself like thinking, I need to do this, I need to do that. Again, being flexible, because Virgo is the sign of flexibility, okay? Being flexible helps you during this Mercury retrograde. If someone is angry towards you, try to understand that maybe that anger comes from a different place. Again, being flexible, being diplomatic during this time helps. That doesn't mean that you have to bend down to people's bad behavior. It just means that right now, everyone is very heightened. If people are rude to you, if people are abrupt, they have a lot of temper, just realize there is this Mercury retrograde that is making people very heightened, and the best thing that you can do during this time to regain your energy is to be flexible, but also it helps you in the long run, because you can not make decisions and choices that you would regret and then think to yourself, oh my god, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have been in that way. Okay, so it really helps you a lot to be flexible during this time. I love how we have the Magician there. Okay, there you go. Meditation, prayer, rest. That is your mantra for this Mercury retrograde. Okay, Six of Cups, blast from the past energy. Someone here is thinking about you. This person can resurface during the retrograde as well. It depends, you know, from situation to situation. I would say a personal reading is really when we can really look into, you know, whether this person really clearly comes into your life during this Mercury retrograde. For some of you, yes, this person will come in, but for others of you, I really feel like this person will specifically think about you and have a lot of nostalgia in regards to the past, which, you know, it really happens once you are very well rested. You start to feel better within yourself, stronger within yourself, and not as overthinking about the situation as much as you have been. So, Mercury retrograde, that's the advice. That's what we have. Just to sort of clarify everything, make sure you save things, take pictures of things that you feel like you might not remember. There can be travel delays, best not to make major plans during this time. Also, it's good to start working on yourself. There can be sort of like a communication mishap from, you know, here and there. So it's really best to be as flexible and as diplomatic as possible. Of course, have your healthy boundaries in place. But if people are really, you know, not great in their energy towards you, it's coming from a different place, not because of you. Slow down, rest. You know, we have this blast from the past energy. Definitely a breakthrough is happening after a lot of stored plans that you've had. And then also avoid making major plans, like I mentioned. It's a time of revising, focusing, reflection, and assessing your hopes and dreams for the future. And basically it's good to focus on the things that you have got working for you at this time. So this is your reading. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Check out the description box below for information on personal services, free winning giveaway, intention items, services. And I also have TikTok and Instagram. If you want to follow me on there, feel free to do so. It's Moonlight Guidance on TikTok, moonlight.guidance on Instagram, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.